nationwide policing expansion to bring new facilities to 75 islands. Arrives in the Maldives.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English. I'm your host Rahmad Imad and I'll be continuing with the details for the latest stories. The Maldives Police Service, MPS, launches the project to strengthen national security by enhancing policing services across the country with the construction of police buildings on 75 islands. The contracts were awarded to 3 companies: Maldives Transport and Contracting Company MTCC, Road Development Corporation RDC and Fenaca Corporation. MPS states that the effort is a cornerstone of President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu's pledge to extend policing services to all inhabited islands by the end of the year. The development of these 75 police buildings aligns with the President's commitment to ensuring peace and community security. MTCC will construct police buildings on 15 islands, while RDC has been tasked with developing facilities on 20 islands. Fenaca will oversee the construction of the remaining 40 islands. MPS say these structures are designed to support law enforcement at both the atoll and island levels, particularly in areas previously lacking such infrastructure. Additionally, the project includes the establishment of police posts and accommodation facilities for officers. With the new facilities, the MPS anticipates a significant increase in policing services, covering half of the islands that previously lacked such services. The start of President Dr. Muizzu's administration, police services were available nationwide through only 17 police stations. The agreements for the construction of the 75 police buildings were signed on behalf of the MPS by Deputy Commissioner of Police Farhad Fikri. Signing for MTCC was DCP retired Ahmed Saudi, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of MTCC. Brigadier General retired Ali Zuhair represented RDC, while Mohammad Najah, the Managing Director of Fenaca Corporation, signed on behalf of the utility provider. President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu specifies the Divehi and English names for inhabited islands, atolls and atoll administrative codes to be used in official documents. Following this decision, all official documentations, publications, information management systems, databases, websites and social media platforms must follow the specified Divehi and English names for islands, atolls and administrative codes as listed in the Presidential Decree for establishing inhabited islands in Maldives. The decision will see the Presidential Decree for establishing inhabited islands in the Maldives of 2010 and all its subsequent amendments repealed. Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation MMPRC announces a high-impact strategic partnership with Liverpool Football Club, positioning the Maldives as the official tourist destination partner of one of the most iconic football clubs in the world. MMPRC said this collaboration will significantly elevate the Maldives' global visibility, attract high-value travelers and drive substantial economic benefits for the nation's tourism industry. The partnership will officially be unveiled on 2nd April during Liverpool FC's match against Everton, displayed prominently on the Anfield Stadium LED boards. MMPRC said the partnership will enable the Maldives to gain unparalleled exposure to LFC's extensive global audience, utilizing the club's influence to attract more visitors to the Maldives. MMPRC said the collaboration is projected to bring over 100,000 additional tourists to the Maldives in 2025, generating an estimated $100 million in tourism revenue. As part of this partnership, the Maldives will enjoy brand visibility at Anfield Stadium with LED signage during Premier League home matches, branding across the stadium and promotion in Liverpool's official publications. Additionally, billboards across Europe in collaboration with Liverpool Football Club will target high-value travelers in key markets. Liverpool's global audience presents a significant opportunity with 205 million followers worldwide, a TV audience of over 211 million per season and 53 million social and digital followers. The partnership also includes high-value activations such as the establishment of a Liverpool Academy in the Maldives, strengthening sports tourism and enhancing destination branding. Fan zones and activations will be integrated into Visit Maldives' global events, fairs and roadshows, while appearances by Liverpool legends and digital engagement campaigns will further drive awareness and bookings. The Pakistani Navy ship PNS Aslat arrives in the Maldives on a 4-day visit. The Navy ship received a warm welcome from the Maldives National Defence Force (MNDF) upon its arrival. The visit is aimed at further strengthening the existing strong ties between the Maldives and Pakistan. According to the Pakistani embassy in the Maldives, several activities of mutual interest will be conducted between the Pakistan Navy and the MNDF during PNS Aslat's visit to the Maldives. The embassy said these activities demonstrate the relationship and cooperation between the two countries. The visit also offers an opportunity for both Maldivian and Pakistani naval officers to exchange knowledge and learn from each other's professional experiences. The ship's commanding officer, Captain Muhammad Azhar Akram, is scheduled to meet senior officers of the MNDF as part of the visit. The PNS Aslat is the fourth vessel of the F-22P Zulfiqar class frigate. It was constructed at the Karachi Shipyard and Engineering Works KS&EW Limited in Pakistan and launched on 16 June 2011. The Human Rights Commission of the Maldives HRCM and the Elections Commission of the Maldives ECM separately issue admonitions to the opposition Maldivian Democratic Party MDP to desist from actions that could potentially harm children, underscoring that such actions do not fall under the purview of freedom of expression. In an official statement, the HRCM censured the utilization of harmful and abusive language directed at a child during an anti-government demonstration organized by the MDP. The MDP has been orchestrating anti-government rallies in the capital Male since 7th March. The incident in question transpired on 12th March when a member of the MDP employed harmful and abusive language towards a child while speaking during the demonstration. In response, the HRCM called upon the relevant authorities to take measures to prevent the use of language that could adversely affect children. The Human Rights Watchdog, in its statement, highlighted its vigilant monitoring of the MDP-led demonstrations. The Commission also condemned, in the strongest terms, the use of harmful and abusive language towards a child during the MDP protests, categorizing it as an act that does not constitute freedom of expression. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz appoints Muhammad Anas as the new president of the Privatization and Corporatization Board, PCB. Anas's appointment follows the dismissal of Hamdi Agil from the position on 13 February. He was appointed to the post under the authority granted under Privatization, Corporatization, Monitoring and Evaluation of Government Businesses Act, which establishes the PCB and empowers the President to appoint the PCB's President. Anas holds a Master of Business Administration degree from the Maldives National University, MNU. Prior to this appointment, Anas has served as the Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Audit Manager at the Housing Development Corporation, and Associate Professor at the Maldives Business School. Maldives Customs Service reports an import-export revenue of $23.5 million for February. According to customs statistics, the Maldives import-export revenue was $23.5 million in February, which is 26.7% more than the $18.6 million recorded the month before. The statistics show that $85.3 million worth of goods was imported into the Maldives, considerably less than the $337 million in January. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, India, China, Singapore and Sri Lanka were the largest importers in February, where food items, fuel, machinery and electronics topped the list of major imports. Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif visited Quetta for a briefing on the security situation following an attack by militants on a train in Pakistan's Balochistan province. The separatist Baloch Liberation Army claimed responsibility for the March 11th attack on the Jafar Express, during which they blew up train tracks and held passengers hostage in a day-long standoff with security services in a remote mountain pass.
Pakistan's military said it had killed 33 attackers and that the siege had ended, but the claim was refuted by the BLA, which said in a Thursday statement that it still had hostages and the battle with security services was ongoing. Reuters was unable to independently verify the BLA claims. Army Chief General Asim Munir, along with senior civil and military officials and leaders and representatives of political parties, attended a high-level security conference at the Chief Minister's Secretariat at Quetta. During the briefing, participants were comprehensively apprised of the prevailing security situation in Balochistan, ongoing counter-terrorism efforts, and an update on the successful conduct of recent operation related to Jafar Express, according to a press release from the PM office. The Prime Minister and Army Chief also visited the Combined Military Hospital Quetta, where they met the injured victims and affected families. Sharif, at a news conference, called for national unity to fight against terrorism. Earlier in the day, the National Assembly unanimously passed a resolution strongly condemning the hijacking of Jaffa Express train and all forms of terrorism. The BLA are fighting a decades-long insurgency to win independence for the mineral-rich province, home to major China-led projects such as a port and a gold and copper mine. A total of 21 hostages and 4 security troops were killed in the standoff, according to the military, but the BLA, the largest of Balochistan's armed ethnic groups battling the government, said 50 hostages were executed.
China and Russia stood by Iran after the United States demanded nuclear talks with Tehran, with senior Chinese and Russian diplomats saying dialogue should only resume based on mutual respect and all sanctions ought to be lifted.
The trilateral talks held by China's Vice Foreign Minister Ma Zhaozhou with Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Kazim Gharibabadi and Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov, which took place at the Diayutai State Guest House, comes in response to United States demanding nuclear talks with Tehran.
Iranian nuclear program is peaceful in nature. It is under the surveillance of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Iran is receiving huge inspections from the IAEA, and our nuclear program has never been diverted to non-peaceful purposes.
Iran has long denied that it is working on developing a nuclear weapon. But the International Atomic Energy Agency said last month that Iran was dramatically accelerating enrichment of uranium to near the roughly 90% weapons-grade level.
Jose Mourinho praised his Fenerbahce team for their performance, stating they were the better side despite their elimination from the Europa League by Rangers on Thursday, and hoped that the denial of 3 penalty appeals at Ibrox was not influenced by his previous suspension after the 2023 final.
Following Roma's defeat to Sevilla in that final, Mourinho, then coach of the Italian side, received a 4-match suspension for his abusive language towards referee Anthony Taylor.
The only thing that is still on the back of my mind is if everything that happened to my team this season in Europe, if it has something to do with the Budapest final. I want to think that has nothing to do with it, it's just bad luck, and nothing has to do with that. I want to think that way.
Rangers had won 3-1 in Turkey, but Fenerbahce forced extra time with 2 goals from Sebastian Szymanski, and the tie went to a penalty shootout where Rangers keeper Jack Butland was the hero. Butland saved the opening spot kick from Dusan Tadic, and after the home side's 3rd penalty from Yanis Haji was also kept out, Butland denied Fred before Mert Hakan Yandas blasted his effort over the bar to send Rangers through to a meeting with Athletic Bilbao in the quarterfinals.
In a warehouse on the outskirts of Shanghai, nearly 100 humanoid robots are learning to make sandwiches, clean counters and arrange flowers for 17 hours a day. Their repetitive movements are not just for show, they are part of a data-driven effort to advance AI-powered automation.
Chinese robotics firm Egibot is developing humanoid robots capable of handling everyday tasks from household chores to retail work as part of a broader push to integrate artificial intelligence into daily life.
Start to be useful first in some structural environments, and also the tasks are quite clear and specific because it's a contained kind of environment. You can exactly tell the robots to do repetitive but maybe boring jobs, right? And replace people, or we should say free people from those very boring or hazardous jobs.
The company has set up simulated environments such as a fully stocked convenience store and a furnished apartment where data acquisition robots, called the Egibot Genie 1, practice real-world tasks with human controllers. Each action generates data that is fed into Egibot's central embodied AI system, refining its large-scale learning models.
The amount of data, I think the generative AI's capability will give us a combinatorial generalization capability where the robots can first understand open and vague natural language instruction, and second can imagine and plan combinations of different skills and objects. And then at that time, I think we could have a chance to invite the robots in our home.
Yao envisions a future where humanoid robots have improved autonomy and are capable of performing complex actions.
And that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for tuning into BSN News. We wish you a pleasant day ahead.
ಬರಕಾತೆರೆ ರಮಲಾ ಮಹುಗೆ ಹೇ ಒಯ್ದುಮಾತ ಹುನಿಯಾ ಟಿವಿ ಬಲ್ಲವಾ ಲೋಬಿತಿ ರೈತುನಂ ಅರಿಸ್ಕುರಂ
මේ ෆහුගේ තාරිහුගා රාජ්‍ය දුම් සියාසි ගොතුන් එම්මෙ හලබොදි උඳගු දුවස්වර කොන්ට්‍රෝල් කුරුමුග එම්එස් බෙෆ්ලෝ ගොතුක හුන්නෙවි රාජ්‍යගේ